like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners regular meeting for October 26, 2022. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lees.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
A little special Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Ken Amy, we recognized him tonight and thanked him for many years of service. He's going to be with us for a long time, trust me, but we thought we'd embarrass him a little bit by saying thank you in our own special way before tonight's meeting, and because of that, I'd like you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would, Ken.
Flag. The United States. Republic for which it stands.
All right, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Lees. All in favor of moving forward with the agenda before you, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we can move forward. Consent items. Is there a motion to approve the consent items listed in the record?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Any question? Well, before I call the question, let me note that it's 4 consent items tonight. Board of Commissioners regular meeting minutes of September 28, Board of Commissioners workshop meeting of October 12, the Treasurer's report for the month of October, and the bills payable. Paid bills in the amount of $4,618.93, and unpaid bills in the amount of $327,865.85. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those items into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is moved into the record. Okay, that's our housekeeping items. Citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments on agenda items? We always like visitors and guests and of course our fantastic police force, so we're happy to see everyone here. We're going to jump into our action items. First, is there a motion for approval with regard to the professional services agreement for Boyle Construction?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus. Second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, do you want to walk us through this one?
Yes, sure, Mr. President. One thing I would like to note is, obviously, the police officers are here tonight to support this. I'm operating out of a station we all know has its shortcomings, and we're all excited to move this forward. There are 2 reps from Boyle Construction. You met Karen last meeting. Tony, who was out of town at the previous meeting, is also here, who's going to be guiding us through the process. They're here to answer any other questions, but we think they gave a pretty good and thorough presentation 2 weeks ago, and I know they met prior to that with staff and prior to that with 2 board members and went through the process, and we have a lot of confidence in the service they provide, and we're all excited to get this moving.
All right, that's all good. Good way of describing it. Any questions or comments from the staff or residents or anyone else? All right, well then looks pretty easy. I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion for approval of the professional services agreement for Boyle Construction, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Thank you very much, Boyle. And more importantly, we have an opportunity to thank our police force here, and many of you probably know that we harass and harangue Chief here often.
Terrible.
Although if you were here 2 meetings ago, or maybe it was last meeting, there was a couple people here who were so misguided as to be complimenting him so much that I think his head got bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's really not possible, but it was a valiant effort.
We did have some difficulty getting him out of the room because of that towards the end of the evening, but eventually the head came back down to normal size, and we treated him like we always did, and that helped reduce the head. So,
I may as well. Thank you. That's why I'm here. This is the first in many steps, but much needed, much appreciated, and thank all of your support. I think I speak for everybody in the back. I know I speak for them.
all seriousness, we think he does an absolutely fantastic job, and we know that you do as well. And so I want to thank you publicly. We don't get an opportunity to do that where you're here. If you're bored, maybe sometimes you watch our meetings and you hear us say that. But tonight, since you're here, we just really want to, repeat what we've said many times over. Not just us, This is from residents. Residents tell us these things. And I don't think we're wrong at all by saying we have the best police chief and we have the best police force in Montgomery County and beyond, and we really appreciate it. You make our jobs very easy, but more importantly is you really keep our residents safe. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next action item. Resolution 22-14. Is there a motion for approval with regard to the grant application for Pico Green Region Clemens Park?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. Aaron, do you have this one?
Sure, Mr. President. This is actually to build the township manager a new station. Kidding. See if anybody was awake. Not as exciting as the prior motion or the following motions, but this is for a resolution to submit with a grant application as we develop Clemens Park. We're looking at every avenue to secure funding to help us redevelop that park. And PICO has a program where they support any type of open space improvements, and we have received funding from this program in the past for our stepping stones along our Fricks Trail where we were tonight actually, and this is to just get, it's $10,000 grant with a $10,000 match. We're spending much more than that on this project, so not an enormous amount, but anything helps that we can offset from the taxpayers. So this submits that application, and we'll see how we do.
All right. Any questions or comments with regard to the grant application? If not, I will call the question. All in favor of Resolution 22-14, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved as well. Okay, our next three action items are conditional offers of employment. We'll take them one by one, and I will share the names. The first one is a motion to provide a conditional offer of employment to Nicholas Miller as a patrolman based on the eligibility list certified by the Hatfield Township Civil Service Commission, conditioned upon successful completion of a psychological and physical examination. The chair will make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second is by Commissioner Lees. Any questions or comments? I think most people know that these three hires all have gone through the Civil Service Commission and approved by the commissioners, assuming that it is approved this evening. And we're looking forward to three new additions and great additions to a great police force. Questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Action item number 4 is a motion to provide a conditional offer of employment to Riley Hefner as a patrolman based on the eligibility list certified by the Hatfield Township Civil Service Commission, conditioned upon successful completion of a psychological and physical examination. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Any questions or comments with regard to this motion?
Patrol woman.
I'm sorry, did I?
Sorry, no, it says patrolman. Aaron messed it up, but it's patrol woman.
Okay.
That was my fault.
So we can adjust we'll adjust the
with
motion.
officer.
The motion it's set, that's
There
right.
you go.
We'll adjust the official motion when it gets into the record. So with that, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Last, action item number 5 is a motion to provide a conditional offer of employment to Addison Walkers as a patrolman based on the eligibility list certified by the Hatfield Township Civil Service Commission, conditioned upon successful completion of a psychological and physical examination. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrews, second by Commissioner Lees. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of action item number 5 and that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. And we have 3 new conditional offers of employment for 3 new police officers. So congratulations to the entire group. And Chief, we'll, assuming everything goes as expected, we'll probably have swearing-ins sometime in the next couple of months?
At some point, we probably have to make up on a lot of other people who've come in through the COVID thing. So we have a lot of people to introduce, but
Okay, well, that would be great. We like doing that, so we'll coordinate that for sure. All right, one last action item for this evening. It's not a very long meeting, but this one is there the leaf pickup program for the weeks of November 14th, 28th, and December 12th? And is there a motion to award the contract to Republic Services for $21,000?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrus. Aaron, any questions or comments?
Hard to follow those last three items with something so routine, but this is simply a service we provide annually to the residents to help remove some of the leaf waste and meet all of our recycling requirements. So on these 3 weeks, and I think most residents know the routine by now, but throughout that week, a hauler will be here to pick up the leaves, put them in a biodegradable bag on Monday morning in front of your house, and they'll be there at some point that week. More information and details on the website and Facebook page. Price went up a little bit over the last few years, but still reasonable for the service.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Last, our Township Manager's report. Aaron.
This is just an update for everyone. Our meeting schedule over the next 2 months. We'll be just meeting on the third Wednesday of each month due to the holiday schedule to make sure that everyone is available. We'll condense the 2 meetings into one, and so 16th of November and 21st of December are the 2 final public meetings of the calendar year.
All right. Are there any citizens' comments on agenda items or otherwise? Why don't you go right to the podium? Yep, just give us your name and your, no worries, your name and your address.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeannie Kramer. I live at 3118 Murphy's Way. It's a new construction community that was just built for Penn Valley Estates. I brought some pictures to go along with this issue that I went. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for their time in this matter. It really means a lot that we're able to come and speak like this. And thank you to the officers as well. We just moved here 6 months ago, and we've unfortunately had to call you guys over for services. And you guys are just so awesome, and we really appreciate everything that you're doing for our community. So we are the first homeowners for Penn Valley Estates. NV Homes is the developer of the community. So I think it was farmland prior to them purchasing and building on the lot. There's an Indian temple that's located, it's called BAPS. They're located on 2021 East Township Line Road in Hatfield. We are lot 4 in the documents that I just gave over to you guys. So when we first purchased the lot within the community, we were told that it was going to be HOA maintained property and land. So there is a strip of land where our home stops. And their property starts. So I grew up in this area. I went to North Penn. I wanted to come back here with my children and my family to really have this be our forever home. So to be honest, we did overspend for our house, but the community has just been fantastic other besides this issue that we're having. So we were told that it was HOA maintained common property, and that was kind of the contents of us purchasing that land that we decided to take. We're dealing with that issue from the developer. I was talking to Mike McCann over in the township. I don't know if he's here, but he's been very helpful in regards to like understanding, what different zones and areas are whose property and whatnot. And in discovery, we were told that the property up into the tree line is actually BAPS's property and not HOA. So we're dealing with that with the developer. We'll handle that issue on our own. The concern is the fact that they are utilizing that space as overflow parking. And there's cars driving all around that grassy area land where it's a safety concern for my children. So we have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and obviously I'm very pregnant right now. But my children play in that community, and there's cars that are driving in the grassy area. I've had to contact Hatfield Police. They've come out twice. Such nice officers that we were talking to. And the direction that we got from them was that unfortunately they don't know whose property is what, so they can't dictate anything. So the first issue was whose property is whose. So in the pictures that I presented, you can see on there that there was no indication in regards to whose property is whose. It just looks like it's just one big open common land. So we did reach out to the developer and we asked them to put in a safety fence just to separate the two properties, and they did decline that. So now we're here at the township, really truly asking for assistance to either talk to BAPS or somehow do something within the community to allow cars to stop driving in that open area. It would be one thing if it was like 5 or 6 cars, but I think over the weekend there was about 200 cars that was utilizing that open space for parking. So as I mentioned, it's a safety concern for my children. It looks like the parking lot is a part of our community. We're just having major issues and concerns. They're setting off fireworks, they're parking where they're not supposed to on like the right-hand side of us and also to the back of us as well. So continuous issues, and thanks again to the police department for coming out. I apologize for the annoyance, but I don't know what else to do at this point. I'm hoping that the township can help us. Once again, this is going to be our forever home, and we're very happy in this township, in this community. But this issue is just making it really hard to be happy in the lot that we have selected.
President, what I would recommend first, dealing with the developer is a private matter, so you have to deal directly
Yes,
with
yep,
them.
of course.
But I would recommend that you set up a meeting with the manager and we'll talk about the parking issue and see what remedies that. Okay.
So we can accommodate you in that way for sure, and Township Manager is Mr. Bebro, okay? This last weekend was Diwali, and that's their largest
It
event.
happens every weekend.
And I was going to
yeah,
ask you, is it
does.
something beyond, because I'm sure that I was there this weekend, and so I know that there was many, many cars, more so than average.
An average, correct, yeah.
So I think this last weekend is a one-time thing each year, but that's what I was going to ask you, is this something beyond just this last weekend?
I've documented all the dates, and we've taken pictures of every single occasion that it's been happening. So it's not during the week, it's mainly on the weekends.
Okay. So why don't you take our solicitor's advice, you'll meet with our manager, and we'll go from there.
If you want to grab my business card on your way out, it's in front of the ledge
Okay.
outside. Send me an email, we'll set up a meeting, we'll look at the parcel view, and we can talk everything through with Ken, our planner, and we'll give you all the information that you need, and we'll try to facilitate a solution for you.
Okay. I really appreciate it. Thank you for
problem.
your
Welcome
time.
to Hatfield.
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome to Hatfield. Actually, the first family I know that on Murphy Way. So Murphy's Way, we'll talk after the meeting, but you're surrounded by people who know former police officer Murphy, who passed away some years ago. It's named after him. And so tonight's the night, actually, to maybe grab some and say, what do you know about Officer Murphy? He was quite a character. Actually, maybe they should ask Commissioner Rogers here. He knew him for most of his life. Yep. All right, any other citizens' comments? No? All right, if not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees. Second. Second by Commissioner Andrus. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.